In my relatively short career on YouTube, I've never once talked at length about my admiration for this wonderful cinematic icon, my all-time favourite movie monster, born from my second favourite horror movie. That ends today. The release of Alien Romulus did exactly what I expected it to do. It reinvigorated my passion for this franchise. I thought ahead this time and bought Alien Isolation again, this time on Steam. I knew I'd be clamoring for anything and everything Alien related after experiencing the movie. So why not revisit its best depiction in gaming form? Though I'm an Alien nut, crazy for the franchise in any medium regardless of the quality, and let's be honest here, there's a lot of schlock. It may shock some of you to know that my first real experience with the Xenomorph was 2010's Aliens vs Predator. At the time I was more interested in the Predator, a love that hasn't worn off to this day. Hell, I was so naive, I didn't realize that the Predator and Xenomorph were from separate franchises until I was much older, tracking the release of Aliens Colonial Marines in 2013, and we all know how that pathetic insult of a game ended up upon launch. Because of Colonial Marines and Aliens vs Predator, I was under the impression that the Xenomorph was only threatening in numbers. They're treated like bugs that can be easily put down by the Marines unless they come in droves. You can thank James Cameron's Aliens for that, as every game following its release took the template of that sequel instead of Ridley Scott's original. Then along comes a teaser for a game called Alien Isolation, a survival horror facing off against one lousy Xenomorph. You can't kill it? You really have to run? How can a single bug be so threatening? I had no idea what I was in for. So I finally watched the original Alien and found out what the Xenomorph was really capable of. A creature so unrelentingly brutal and impossible to kill by conventional means that it's easier to blow up the entire station to escape from it than it is to have a face-off. Isolation is based off of that kind of Xenomorph. And now you have your survival horror game. But even on my first playthrough, I didn't truly grasp how special this game was, as I was still ignorant of the franchise. Now, after experiencing so many movies, games, theory videos on YouTube, and of course, watching Romulus, the game is blowing me away, despite me seeing pretty much everything this franchise has to offer. On the surface, it doesn't seem that special. You have your objectives, so you navigate the space station from A to B. Oh shit, a Xeno is in the way. Hide and slowly sneak past. Rinse and repeat. Seems boring, huh? You'd think so, but nope. Not in the goddamn slightest. Unless you aren't a fan of stealth and horror, in which case, stick with the other Alien games. What is difficult to convey with fancy words on a YouTube video is the sheer atmosphere that bleeds out of this game. There is nothing like it. Maybe it's the sci-fi setting that allows for more unique immersive elements? I'm not sure, but I found myself absolutely glued to the screen, and my overly active mind drowned out my thoughts as I was completely sucked into this world. That's a rare gift. Oh, and here's another rare gift. The best AI hunter I've ever experienced in a game to this day. The alien is completely unpredictable. In nearly every single horror game I've played, I can see the puppeteer behind the curtains, as patrol paths and exploits become easy to learn as time goes on. Any prediction I make about where the alien goes next has been incorrect, and because of that, it's terrifying. The downside of this is that you might get unlucky and get caught in cheesy ways multiple times at once, which can lead to understandable frustration. But it's a small price to pay for truly unique AI. I'm pretty good at handling horror. Nothing much terrifies me. But I must say, the alien got me in multiple points of the game, in ways that would be so scripted in other games, but play out so organically here. Its terror is amplified because of the sound design of the space station itself, and what's even more damning is the fact that there's no autosave here. You have to look for these phone booths to save your game, and their placements are sporadic and unpredictable. There's nothing more terrifying than manual saves. That's true horror, ladies and gentlemen. You're given sound cues as to when the alien has left the vents, and of course you have your motion detector, but there have been times the alien would emerge from a vent 2 or more rooms down, so it's just out of range of my motion detector and sound cues. I'm here thinking I'm safe, that I can relax a bit. I open the door and... game over, man. This tension gives me a high that can't be replicated outside of gaming. It's why I adore survival horror. Good survival horror. None of these alien encounters were scripted jump scares. It felt like it was toying with me. I think the greatest accomplishment Creative Assembly achieved when designing the Xenomorph encounters was recreating that sheer hopelessness from the original film. One creature, this perfect organism, is so dangerous and there's no escape, no way to fight it off. It's an unstoppable killing machine. And because of that, I felt that desperation to get it off the station. Or at least escape myself. This is the reason that the Xenomorph became my favourite movie monster, and only this game captured why. I love James Cameron's Aliens as much as the next person, but this is when Alien is best for me, a horror icon, one unkillable creature. The secondary enemy type, the working Joe synthetics, are almost as creepy, although they can be dealt with. They're just tough as hell. We also have human enemies, but you and the Xeno can put your differences aside and team up to take care of that issue. The game is bloated in certain sections, that common criticism is true, but if you truly love immersion and stealth gameplay like I do, you will be satisfied with that game length, trust me. The closest game I can compare to this is Outlast. If you love that game, hiding under beds, lockers, being haunted, you will adore Alien Isolation. It just doesn't have those crazy Outlast chases. Oh sure, you can try to run from the Xenomorph, but I never once escaped it in a chase, successfully. I remember on my first playthrough, thinking I was untouchable after acquiring the flamethrower and shotgun, not realizing that the alien AI has a learning system to where if you rely too much on those weapons, the alien adapts and overcomes the effects, rendering those defensive attacks obsolete. I learned that the hard way. This game is the encompassment of everything I love about this franchise. Sure, it doesn't have the Marines of Aliens, the Predator versus Alien action of AVP, or the philosophical questions of Prometheus, but it has the elements that started it all. Horror, mystery, tangible sci-fi, and one harrowing creature in an increasingly hopeless situation. I'd play Dead by Daylight again right now if I was guaranteed to go up against the Xeno again. I'm even willing to give Aliens Fireteam Elite another try too, despite it being action-based. I envy any of you watching this who haven't seen the movies or played this game yet. If you love survival horror, or want to experience truly unique AI, or if you're the kind of freak who wants to experience permanent anxiety, play this wonderful game. I guarantee that it has something unique for you that you haven't experienced in any game even now, 10 years on.